Hello chess lovers, Suren here with another spectacular game for you. With the white piece is playing Robert James Fischer and his opponent is Rodolfo Cardoso. This game was played during their match in 1957 in New York. This is the fourth game of their match and Fischer started with e4, c5 by Cardoso, Sicilian defense, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3 and a6. Cardoso goes for Najdorf variation, bishop c4, e6, white castles kingside, bishop e7, bishop e3, black castles kingside, bishop b3, knight c6, and here we go f4. White's idea is actually very simple, to place the queen on f3 square and then start a pawn storm on the king side. Knight a5, queen f3, queen c7, and there it goes, g pawn marches forward. Knight takes b3, black is getting rid of this strong bishop, which later can cause black a lot of problems on this diagonal. A takes b3 and rook b8. Black is moving away the rook from this a file and is preparing b5, but all this is losing a precious time. Instead of playing rook b8, it was better to play d5. As you know, in Sicilian defense, this d5 idea is very useful for black, and black pieces suddenly are managing to get very active. If he takes d5, then knight takes d5, and after the exchange on d5 square, actually now white can't capture on d5 because we'll lose this pawn on g4 square, and with an exposed king side, white can face serious problems, and on the other hand, black has a powerful bishop pair. But instead, after a takes b3, we see rook b8. Here comes g5, knight d7, and f5, and already this is becoming more and more dangerous. Knight e5, queen g3 and king h8. Black is moving away his king from this dangerous g file and is preventing this unpleasant g6. Knight f3. Instead of playing knight f3, Fischer had a stronger continuation. He could play rook f4, if b5 then rook h4, with the idea of bringing the queen on h file as well and put pressure on h7. Of course, after this rook maneuver, white is managing to gain a huge advantage, but after king h8, Fischer played knight f3. Knight takes f3, rook takes f3, b5, queen h4, e takes f5, e takes f5, queen c6. Now comes the second rook, rook f1, also protecting this rook, bishop b7 and bishop d4. This bishop is coming on this diagonal and this is becoming more and more dangerous. b4, and now you can pause the video and try to find Fischer's next move. Ready? In this position, Bobby Fischer played bishop takes g7 check. On the surface this looks spectacular, but it turns out that actually this is not the most precise continuation. Actually, instead of playing bishop takes g7, queen h5 is stronger, moving away the queen from this diagonal and preparing g6. If b takes c3, then simply g6 and it's over. If h6, then black king can get checkmated. Or after queen h5, if you move like king g8, moving away the king from this dangerous h file, then this time f6 can be unpleasant. If b takes c3, then f takes g7, and white will win this rook because black can't move away his rook because of this queen takes f7 threat. But after b4, Fischer played bishop takes g7 check. What is interesting, at first my engine was also suggesting bishop takes g7, but later refuted this line because Stockfish actually found a powerful defensive move by black. But let's see, how can black manage to defend? King takes g7, queen h6 check, king h8. Here comes g6 and we have reached the critical position. In this position, Cardoso played queen c5 check, which is losing on the spot. It turns out that the best move is f takes g6, and after f takes g6, black has a powerful move. Can you find that move? Right now, as you can see, white is threatening queen takes h7 checkmate, and the only move which saves black's position is rook f7. This is simply an awesome move, and of course from afar finding this move can be extremely difficult. The thing is that white can't capture on f7 with a rook because we'll get checkmated, and if g takes f7 then rook f8, with the idea of simply capturing on f7, using the fact that the rook can't leave f3 square. For example, now if knight e2, then simply rook takes f7, and white is facing serious problems. That's why after rook f8, white should play queen e6, protect the pawn, then black can play queen c5 check, if rook e3 then bishop g5, if knight d1 then bishop d5, if queen e8 then king g7, and actually the engine evaluates that position as equal, but of course this is a very double-edged position and one wrong move can cost both sides a whole game. Let's go back, but after g6 Cardoso played queen c5 check, after which black's position is collapsing. Rook f2, f takes g6, f takes g6, queen g5 check, offering an exchange of queens, but of course a hopeless attempt. Queen takes g5, bishop takes g5, and now Fischer is simply capturing on f8. Rook takes f8, rook takes f8, king g7, here comes g takes h7, and black resigned. If king takes f8, then white is promoting the pawn to a queen, or if king takes h7, then rook f7 check, winning the bishop. If b takes c3, simply b takes c3, and this is going to be an easy win for white. A very beautiful attacking game, I think, and of course let's not forget that in 1957 Fischer was only 14 years old. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this aggressive game. Good luck.